It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and today is the second day of cutting firewood for the year. I'm way behind. Last weekend I just came out here and just cut some wood. It wasn't the most productive, but I just needed to get out there and do it. Today is the day we are going to try to rifle through cutting some wood. The chainsaw is nice and sharp. She's ready to go, and I'm hoping to burn as much fuel through this thing as possible today. In the past, I have cut and piled, and it just eats away all your time. Since I'm cutting in one area, I am just going to cut, block, and just leave it. First thing in the spring, I'm going to come out here before the ticks, hopefully, and then pick up all the wood after the snow is gone. So that's what the goal is. So let's see how much wood we can cut today. Okay, so there's nothing in here that's very big. There's a bunch of dead ash, like smaller ones. We're just going to cut this down, block it, and just work our way that way. Let that warm up a little bit. Chainsaw just ran out of its first tank of fuel. As a rule, if the chain is sharp, one tank of fuel cuts about a cord. So we got a total now of 2 cords cut. We'll fuel it up, run through another cord. It'd be nice if we could get to 6. I don't know if that's possible. If I'm not moving it, I probably can. So we're just going to see what happens. I'm back to vegetable oil. I'm going to have a lot of haters over that, but, well, they can get over it, hey? It works. For my bar oil, I use sunflower oil. I use all kinds of different oils, but basically we use the leftover sunflower oil. I've had a few people comment saying if you eat that much sunflower oil, you got other problems. Well, we really don't. My family has Dutch heritage, so they have like oliebollen, and pretty much I don't know. Like, I use that. I end up using some waste oil, and then I can pretty well get through the year. It's not a huge deal, and I don't see much different. It smells good when you're cutting them with it, but it is funny how people get so crazy about it. So with last weekend when I cut, that is 1 cord. This is 2 cords. So we're going to get on to the 3. If we could cut 6 today, even if I don't move it, just get it cut, I think I'll be happy. Ran through 3 tanks of fuel in the 2 days, and this one will be the 4th. So when this is done, we'll have 4 cords done. It's actually going pretty well. It's kind of when you get in the groove, it gets going. I wasn't prepared with the fuel though, somehow. I don't know, I didn't think of it. Okay, so I'm out of fuel, but this is the 4th tank. So we're doing good. If I can run through this, and I brought my buddy's chainsaw out, maybe I can cut a little bit with that. That was kind of the spare. I wanted to make sure that it was running good, so I think there's fuel in that. So we can run that a bit. It's a beautiful day. It's kind of weird weather though. This year it's been really warm. We really haven't had too much cold weather. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I hope it doesn't turn into a really dry year for the garden. Normally when you have a year with not too much snow here, it gets dry a whole month earlier. So our dry months here are pretty much August, end of July, August. But it'll be the end of June if you don't have snow and it's dried out. I'm glad we got a bit of snow, but if we don't have the snow later in the season, it turns into a dry year. And it makes it hard to grow because I really need to work on my watering system in my garden, because last year we got tons of rain. This year, I can't count on that. So hopefully, I'm thinking about how I'm going to do the watering. We're going to figure that out. But okay, so I'm going to head back and keep cutting some more wood. Hey, so today we ran 3.5 tanks, so that's about 3.5 cord. Last weekend we cut about a cord, so we have about 4.5 cord right now. So you know what, I'm starting to feel a bit better. Next weekend, if I get in here and cut another 4, we have 8. I pretty well need about 12 cord. So I think clearing the rest of this corner will pretty well be perfect. I'll just have enough for the year. And I don't want to clear everything. So I want this space to be nice. And I wouldn't mind planting grass this year. But you know what? There's so much to do. It's crazy. So I'll show you what I cut. Okay, so I cut all over there, this whole area, these trees, all this, all of that. Last weekend I cut way over there. So really, this is 4.5 cord. If I clear this and continue on, that's going to be 8. So by the time I get to the end of the clearing over there, it should be the 11, 12 cord I need for the rest of the year. So you know what, I'm starting to feel a bit better about it. I'm still not organized enough to bring enough fuel to finish the day. Next weekend, I'll fill up the can, so we're good to go for that. You know what? I have about 3 or 4 more weekends before the maple syrup starts. So if I can just keep motivated, keep going, there's no reason why I can't cut the rest of my wood. I should be good to go. The only problem is we still have to cut a little bit of wood for the maple sugar. So that's going to be up in the air. And on top of that, if we get a bunch of snow, that's going to be a real problem. But that's what happens every year. I end up saying, oh, I need to cut my maple syrup wood first. And then I'd never get my actual wood cut. So I said, this year, I'm just going to cut the wood, keep going, don't get distracted. And then we're just going to deal with the wood for the maple syrup. There's a lot of dead trees close to the sugar shack. So even at the very worst, if I had to just keep cutting a few down, throw it in, I could probably do it. So I'm going to clean up around here. I'm going to film on the way out of the bush so you can kind of see it. It's actually really beautiful out. But that's about enough for today. And you guys have a good one.